Hello everyone, it's Serenity. So today's video is going to be short probably, but it's an extension of a video that I did with Marcus. I was going to post it on this channel as well, but then I decided not to. So I will leave the link either in the description of this video or in the comment section. It's basically about shunning because with the last video I did, basically talked about shunning and how humans need friends and family. That relationship is essential. And the Watchtower had actually printed it in their own material. So they know this. So what they're doing is intentional. It's not something they can say we didn't know, but they use it to literally just hurt people and as a control tactic. So, yeah. Basically, I actually had a conversation with this cousin that I was talking about in the video with Marcus. So this cousin is quite a bit older than me, lives in a completely different country, and was under the impression that I had done all these things and I was too proud to go back to my parents to say sorry and all this other stuff. And it just made me realize, like, wow, these people have to intentionally think and come up with lies in order to justify their actions, which is cutting me off, the shunning. Now, I understand because when family members who don't know, who aren't, active Jehovah's Witnesses and whatnot, ask my parents, how am I doing? How are they going to reply? We don't know. If they say we don't know, which is the truth, then that opens up a can of worms. Or what if they say, oh, how's your daughter doing? Oh, we don't know because we chose to cut her off and shun her because she no longer believes the same religion as we do. Okay, let's try it again. If they come to my parents, my brother, anyone who's known me, oh, how's Serenity doing? We don't know because we cut her off because she is bad association because she doesn't believe in our God and worship him. Okay, in all these scenarios, you see the problem. If you are a normal human being, if any of those answers were actually said, which are the truth, it is the absolute truth, you would be looked at as insane, crazy, and unloving. So now you see why not just my family, but other families have to basically defame or slander an individual in order to justify something that they know is wrong. If they thought it was right, they would proudly be proclaiming what they're doing and saying they're going to be loyal to their God, Jehovah, instead of loyal to their relative, basically, which once again still sounds very insane. So now you can comprehend why these individuals who are shunning, as well as ones who are to represent these religions that shun, go on, in front of judges, TV shows, and all of these other outlets and outright lie or say, we can't answer that question. We don't want to answer that question because they know it's wrong. So ask yourself, is it the truth? If you're not proud of something that you're doing, is it the truth? Okay. So, one thing that was brought up between this conversation between my cousin and me is he said, well, this was in like the second or third back and forth. He was like, well, when you got baptized, you knew the consequences of what would happen if you left or if you were disfellowshipped. And it's like, you know the consequences, but I was born and raised. So the thing with my situation, and I know everyone's situation is different, is it's not a choice. Those of you who know, it is not a choice. It is, I don't even know how to describe it. Because for me, my situation, as a child, I knew something was way off with the thinking of this whole religion, my parents. It was like living in a weird alternate universe. But once I was 17, it was to the point where I was so internally conflicted that I said, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to go to meetings. I don't want to go in field service. I don't want to do any of that. And my parents, especially my father, basically thought I was just being rebellious. So, number one, his thing was, he quoted that scripture where it says, "As for me and my household, we shall serve Jehovah. And if you don't like it, you don't have to be here." I was 17. I remember it clearly. So, what do you do at that age? You have nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. You're in high school. Okay? Another thing is you are treated differently because this concept of being born and raised in the so-called truth, you should have made spiritual progress to the point of baptism basically at a younger age. So I knew of ones who I grew up with in my original congregation in Michigan that were baptized at 8 years old. 8 years old. So just think, ones who were born and raised should have been baptized between a young age and basically 15, 16 years old, because they felt that if you could go for a driver's license, you should have been baptized if you're raised in this cult. Now, that wasn't the case with me. And the other thing you have to understand is in this cult is that brothers cannot attain positions if you are not conducting your household in a certain manner. So by me not making spiritual progress, that reflected upon my father and what privileges and positions that he could be appointed to. So imagine being the so-called only problem in the family as to why your father cannot be appointed as a ministerial servant. Imagine the treatment you would get. So I ask you again, is baptism truly a choice? So this all came up in this conversations between me and this distant cousin. And long story short, at the end of it, he even agreed that he has gone through some things as well, even with his own father, because of this cult and the Jehovah's Witnesses. And he agreed that God is love and all of creation comes from God, so we should all love each other. There should not be this basically fighting amongst each other, especially family. So there was good that came out of this, and it started because basically my mother could not be honest about her actions and why she was doing what she was doing. So yeah, like I said, if they are so proud of what they are doing, their God, their religion, their organization, they should be shouting it from the rooftops that they are that loyal, that they will cut off a close family member who has done absolutely nothing to them except no longer believe their religion, who chooses to live their life in love and truly be an example of Christ-like love. If they were truthful and said that, then they and their religion would be looked at for what it is. Basically a manifestation of this energy that is also known as the devil. Okay? That's what it is. Plain and simple. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say for today. Once I am settled, I will be making more videos because I have a lot to say, but it has been, since July, very difficult because I don't have stability, and I need a home base. So that's what hopefully in the next couple weeks I will get. And at that point, I can start putting out more videos, especially how things are evolving now, as far as many wanting to know about how this separation is taking place. I'll get into that as well, how the sun is affecting different ones, and some for the good, some for not so good. So yeah, that's it. I love you all. I'm sending you my peace. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.